Okay, today we are going to do problem solving 1A. This is going to lead into showing you how equations and inequalities kind of relate to one another. So the first thing that we need to do is read the problem. A server at a restaurant gets paid $12 an hour and also gets to keep any tips. The server's tips average $6 per table. In 1 hour, the server earned $42. Write an equation that can be used to calculate the number of tables served. So the first thing that we want to do is highlight some key information. And that would be, hopefully this will actually let me do this, $12 an hour. And keep any tips means plus tips. Okay, awful spelling when I'm using a mouse. The server's tips average $6 per table. Okay, so per table. So this can change based on how many tables that they have. This does make you kind of think about the real world situation. If I get $12 an hour and I get to keep tips, this means that I want as many tables as possible because for every table, I get another $6. So that's what makes this next one make sense. So in 1 hour, the server earned $42. So they made some pretty good money. Write an equation that can be used to calculate the number of tables served. So let's see if I can figure out how to make this start writing again. There. It erased everything. So learning. So if this person gets 12 an hour, that means 12 an hour. So I'm going to put 12H. That makes sense to me. So if they work more than 1 hour, they're going to get 12 times the number of hours that they make. Plus the tips, which is $6 per table. Okay. So right now I am just substituting variables for the things that I know. 12 hours plus $6 per table. All right, so let's keep reading and see what the other information it has. In 1 hour, the server earned $42. Okay, so this means that I need an equal at the end, and that would equal their pay. And I'm just going to write pay, okay? All right, so now that we have that, that's our basic understanding that they get paid $12 an hour, but they get more based on how many tables and the tips that they get per table. And that equals how much that they bring home. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to look at is right here. It says in 1 hour, the server earned $42. Okay, so that means that I can substitute in some information. It tells me the 1 that I could substitute in for the H. It also tells me his pay. He got $42 in that 1 hour. So I'm going to substitute that information. 12 times the 1 hour that he worked, plus he could make extra money by doing tables, right? Makes sense. Equals his pay, which in this case, for 1 hour, he got $42. So that will be 42 right here. All right. So now I have something that I can work with. So the first thing that it wanted us to write an equation. Hey, I wrote an equation. That makes sense for me. This is how much he's got. So in 1 hour, we want to try to find out how much. Now, this is not asking us to solve, but I'm going to go ahead and solve just so that you guys see how these things might be related. So 12 times 1 is 12, still plus the 6t equals the 42. Now, the next step that I have to do is I have to subtract 12 from both sides. Okay, so that will end up equaling 6t left on this side equals 42 minus 12 is 30. And then the next step will be to divide both sides by 6. Okay. So the left side, my variable is now isolated, equals 5. So to answer this, he served 5 tables to earn $42 in 1 hour. Cool. So this is something that you should already be coming to the table with. We have already learned how to write equations when it's a real world story. So you need to understand that now we're going to take it to the next step, and we need to figure out an inequality. Like, what if he needs to earn so much in so many hours? How can we figure that out? So let's go to the next slide, and I'm going to bet that's the next problem. So let's read this one. A server at a restaurant gets paid $12 an hour. Sounds familiar. And also gets to keep tips. Still sounds familiar. The server's tips average $6 per table. Cool. Write an inequality that can be used to calculate the number of tables that they will need to serve in order to earn more than 42 hours, or 42 every hour. So we've already written an equation. So if it equals $42, this is my equation right here, because it's 1 hour, okay? So I'm going to press Control C, come over here and make this right here, because it's the same equation. But here's the difference. Inequality. So it's inequality means not equal to necessarily. It's not always equal. So the numbers of tables they will need to serve in order to earn more than $42 an hour. So this server needs to make sure that he makes more than $42 per hour. So do we need to make our sign go this way or this way? Well, in my opinion, this is his pay, but this is how he gets his pay. So how he gets his pay is what needs to be greater than. Now, it doesn't say greater than or equal to. It says more than. Not equal, more than or equal to $42 an hour. It says more than. So at this point, we have done what it asked. It wants an inequality. So just like before, let's solve. Let's see if anything changes. I'm going to subtract 12 from this side, just like I did the other one. Subtract 12 from this side, and I'm left with 6t is greater than, we're hoping we want to make a lot of money, is greater than 42 minus 12 is still 30. Going to still divide by 6 to both sides. I'm not dividing by anything weird, so we're good to go. And now we have t is greater than 5. So in order for the server to make more than $42 an hour, and it should be 42, I'll say they need to have more than 5 tables every hour. All right, we're going to keep working on these. Remember, the big skill of what we need to know is, can we write these equations? I'm showing you the work just so that you're kind of familiar and you're seeing them, not because it's necessarily expected at this point, but my theory is if I can type it, you can type it. If I can type it, you can at least listen to it. And then when we start doing it ourselves, you've already seen it before, and it's not exactly brand new. Our goal is always mastery.